What happens when a group of viral internet stars pull back the curtain on the company that helped launch them? In today's exposé, two members of the Try Guys are finally revealing the behind-the-scenes truths about their time at BuzzFeed. Contracts, manipulation, missed opportunities, and corporate greed. This is the story that redefines how digital media treated its most valuable talent. Welcome to Celebrew, where we break down the stories you can't stop talking about. At the height of BuzzFeed's content boom, employees were working non-stop to feed the viral machine. But while they focused on creativity and hustle, the company allegedly had something else in mind. According to Keith and Zach, a subtle yet insidious move was made. Employees were asked to sign paperwork as part of an office relocation. Mixed in with parking forms and other standard documents was an image release waiver. On the surface, it seemed harmless. But hidden in the fine print was language granting BuzzFeed broad rights to the employees' likenesses, even their life stories. Keith narrowly escaped signing the document due to working late the night the forms were handed out. When he later read what was being asked, he raised the alarm. Not only did he refuse to sign, but he also emailed the entire office warning others not to do so. His refusal sparked immediate backlash from the higher-ups, setting off a chain reaction of tension and retaliation. It wasn't just about contracts, it was about ownership, control, and the commodification of individual identity. Once the Try Guys discovered the extent of the image waiver's implications, they took a step that changed everything. They consulted a lawyer. The response from BuzzFeed was swift and ominous. In a closed-door meeting, a manager told them plainly, "And off the record, if you do this, a storm is coming." That statement wasn't just a warning, it was a threat. One that underscored how precarious their positions were within the company. For months, the Try Guys endured a hostile work environment. The relationship between them and the company deteriorated. Despite their creative contributions, they were penalized for protecting their rights. It was a chilling look into how a viral media empire could turn on its talent when challenged. BuzzFeed had a double standard when it came to creative work outside the company. On one hand, they told employees to disclose any freelance or passion projects. On the other, those who did were fired. Employees were let go for appearing in the background of music videos, creating weekend web series, or even doing unrelated research gigs. One employee, following the rules, admitted to freelance research. The result? Termination. The message was clear. BuzzFeed wanted exclusive ownership over not just the employees' work hours, but their entire creative life. The environment became one of fear, with staff walking on eggshells, unsure which rule might end their careers. Keith shared a particularly bitter memory, being forced to decline a major airline commercial because BuzzFeed wouldn't allow it. The gig could have elevated his career and brought him new visibility, but corporate restrictions squashed the opportunity. It was one of many reminders that personal growth was secondary to company interests. These restrictions led many employees to a breaking point, prompting a wave of "Why I Left BuzzFeed" videos. These testimonials not only gave former staff a voice, but became viral sensations in their own right. They marked a digital migration from corporate-controlled content to independent creator freedom. Ironically, one of BuzzFeed's most beloved video formats came from a moment of protest. While Keith was barred from appearing in videos due to contract disputes, he pitched a lighthearted idea to Zach: drunk girls surprised with puppies. Zach refused to create it at the time, standing in solidarity with Keith. Eventually, when tensions cooled, the concept evolved into what we now recognize as BuzzFeed's signature "Celebrities Play with Puppies" segment. What started as a playful experiment became a franchise. It was proof that the very people being sidelined were the ones driving innovation. Despite the Try Guys becoming one of BuzzFeed's most successful brands, the group consistently faced pushback. Leadership didn't like the fact that 3 people were focusing on one video instead of producing separate projects. It was seen as inefficient, a short-term view that ignored the long-term value of collaborative creative success. The resentment grew, especially as the Try Guys' popularity soared. Their rise symbolized a shift from faceless content to creator-driven media. But rather than embrace it, BuzzFeed fought to retain traditional structures, even if it meant sabotaging their own hits. BuzzFeed's refusal to let its stars participate in external work wasn't just frustrating, it was a massive missed opportunity. Unlike Saturday Night Live, where cast members can pursue outside projects so long as their main job is secure, BuzzFeed demanded exclusivity without flexibility. That rigidity pushed creators away. Instead of nurturing talent and building a creator ecosystem, BuzzFeed chose control. It stifled momentum, discouraged loyalty, and alienated some of the internet's brightest voices. The company opted to be a gatekeeper instead of a launchpad. What followed was a golden age for BuzzFeed stars. The Why I Left movement turned into a badge of honor. People like Quinta Brunson went on to incredible success, unshackled from BuzzFeed's limitations. Others built thriving YouTube channels, businesses, and personal brands. In hindsight, BuzzFeed's loss became the internet's gain. Audiences were eager to support their favorite personalities on new platforms. And as these creators gained freedom, they proved they never needed BuzzFeed to succeed. BuzzFeed needed them. The famous BuzzFeed puppy videos didn't come from a content meeting or marketing team. They were born out of frustration and passive resistance. Keith and Zach took a moment of creative stasis and made magic. It was a middle finger to corporate control that inadvertently became a brand-defining series. It highlighted the paradox at the core of BuzzFeed's identity. Their biggest hits often came from the very people they tried to suppress. In trying to silence voices, they ended up broadcasting them louder than ever. Despite the tension and frustration, Keith and Zach expressed no lasting hatred for BuzzFeed. They recently visited the office and noted improvements. It seems the company has started to evolve, learning from past missteps. While the scars remain, so does a sense of hope that others won't go through the same ordeal. Their hope is simple, that future talent is treated better, given more freedom, and encouraged rather than controlled. Because at the end of the day, content is about people, and people, when supported, can create greatness. The Try Guys' story is more than just corporate drama. It's a blueprint for the next generation of creators. It shows the dangers of control, the power of resistance, and the value of trusting talent. At Celebrew, we spotlight the untold truths behind your favorite names, and this story was one of the most revealing yet. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the creators, controversies, and corporate chaos shaping internet culture. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and keep sipping the Celebrew.